Defendant Bai and Defendant Timberlake knowingly entered into a single agreement and/or multiple agreements to commit fraud and other unlawful acts by agreeing to promote artificially flavored beverage products as if they were solely naturally flavored without synthetic chemical ingredients. Such says the lawsuit recently filed against Bai and its spokesperson and CFO, Chief Flavor Officer, Justin Timberlake. So it's clear that the Prince of Pop has been working a complex scheme against the American public by using malic acid as a flavor agent rather than a flavor enhancer. The lawsuit wants Tim's to give back all the money he received because of his dirty tricks. The gig is up, JT. You've been caught with your hand in the malic acid bin, and it's time to pay the piper. But the final verdict won't be rendered until the three of us take a swig of Bai and give the sentencing. Right now on You Tried Dat. You Tried Dat. We're back. I'm Nick Novak with my pals Chad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Yo.
And this is a snacking podcast where we tried 3 snacks and let you know what we think. Boys, how have you been?
Real quick, was Tim's caught with his hand in the cookie jar, or was he caught with his hand ripping off Janet Jackson's shirt? Which one?
You didn't know, Chad, that Justin Timberlake had anything to do with Bai previously,
I had
right?
no idea. I never even heard of Bai before we started talking about doing it.
I also had never heard anyone refer to him as Tim's. I thought you said, did Tim rip her shirt off? I'm like, who's Tim? Like, I didn't know.
So in that episode, in the intro, I had to come up with 3 different nicknames for Justin Timberlake. So I actually typed in Justin Timberlake nicknames.
An excellent use of your time.
All actually that came up was JT and Prince of Pop, and then I just came up with Tim's on my own. That's his new nickname.
T-Sizzle or something stupid, yeah.
You've got children to raise, and here you are Googling Justin Timberlake nicknames.
I think there was like a Super Bowl commercial where like Christopher Walken did like a spoken word version of Bye Bye Bye, and like Timberlake was like in the end of it or something like that. That's all the only connection I remembered him having.
Right. So we'll be trying that later on. Geiger, you said we need to give a fan update because in a previous episode you talked a bit about your grandmother burning her hair over a flame while forcing her grandchildren to finish their meal, but you had an update on that.
Grandma Geiger, the pyromaniac.
Right. So, yeah, as Nick explained, it's exactly what it sounds like. If you hadn't listened to a previous episode, I shared a story where I distinctly remembered my grandmother just plucking hairs out of her head and sticking them in a candle and lighting them on fire. So I was curious to see if my sisters would even remember maybe I was the insane one just thinking this up, but my sister Jenny did remember and she told me actually the reason why she was doing it was because my sister Becky had leaned too close to the candle and almost caught her hair on fire. So she was showing her how easy it would be to light your hair on fire because of how quickly it burns.
Oh, okay. Important context.
Yeah, no, it helps a lot.
You also implied that she burned more than one hair, though.
She did do it more than one hair, but I mean, to reinforce the method. You don't, like, I was like, one hair, maybe it was like a stunt hair. But like 13 hairs? Now I get it. So yeah, so my grandmother is not insane, at least not for that reason.
That's still, you can impress the importance of staying away with fire without burning yourself, like, did that really need to be demoed?
You don't want to know how she showed us about gun safety. She just put it up against her shoulder and shot herself in the shoulder blade.
How did she give you the birds and the bees talk?
Oh God. Yeah, this could happen, and she was just having sex in front of me.
This could happen? She had accidental sex?
Trust me, Grandma. At that point in my life especially, I did not think it could happen. It was some time before I believed it could actually happen.
And you've again lost hope that it can happen.
Well, yeah, every time I'd light some candles around the bed to set the mood, then I would just be scared of burning my hair off, so I just started crying.
So I recently, just actually this past week, went into to be part of a focus group. Now, I sometimes get these online surveys that I signed up for where they give you some questions, they ask you, they start with like your gender and income and things like that, and then ask about your buying habits. And usually at some point you get kicked out of the survey saying you don't fit into what they're looking for. Maybe they're looking for people over 50 or something. About 1 in every 10 you get accepted, and then you go to this place, and every other time I've been to the place, I sit in like, there's a long row of like cubicles, and a little door opens up, and a gloved hand comes out and hands you some food. You eat it.
It's just like a glory hole of food being delivered to you.
You eat the food, and then you answer questions on a computer, and then you leave. So I've done things like ice cream, and I've done alcohol ones. I did frozen meals. So a huge variety of things. And usually from the questions, you can tell what you might be testing. Like the weirdest one is I got through on a bologna one, and then I went in and they literally just gave me slices of bologna on a little paper plate. And that was just, so I'm like just sitting here mouthing these individual bologna slices. So some are definitely better than others.
And you get paid for this, right?
You're in there for a half hour and they give you like $50. So
wait, how were you able to tell what they were trying to judge with the bologna from the questions?
Because they ask which of these things have you bought in the past month, and it's a random list like bologna, bread, coffee, and you click on the ones you have. And usually you just click them all because that's your only chance of getting through. And then the next question is, you mentioned you got bologna. Which of these brands of bologna have you had before? So this one I got through, but it was a focus group where I actually sat in a room with other people. So it was me and 5 other guys about my age. And then there was a lady at the edge of the table asking us questions. And there was a 2-way mirror. And she said, yeah, there's people behind the 2-way mirror listening to you. They're also recording all the stuff you're saying. And this is a 2-hour session.
And so you're sitting there like, please don't fart, please don't fart.
So it's a 2-hour thing. They give you a sample. What it was like this combination of like peanuts and pretzels and things with like caramel around it. And I tried like 6 or 7 different varieties of it, like a barbecue flavored one, a cheese flavored one, and in between each one they ask you questions about it. And some of these poor saps were not the pro that I've become from this podcast. So I was like, well, if someone handed me this at a party.
Please tell me you actually said that.
But you ate so much of it. They keep feeding it like the same thing. There's a very slight difference between, try A and B, and then write down which one you like better. And there's almost no difference between them.
But you got so much practice from that by trying 2 different varieties of Oreos that were basically the same, and then ranking them on categories of 1 through 3 dunks.
I'm like, what would the guys say? Oh, this is dog shit.
Did they ask you why that when they were looking at your scorecard, you crossed out the 1 through 10 rating and wrote piss in the sink in the bottom?
So most of the people were cooperative. There's one guy who just kept saying, I don't know, it tastes okay. I'm like, ugh. But usually you feel like you have to make up crap. Normally I'd eat this thing and just be like, oh, it's okay. But you have to say, well, the crunch was nice and the texture.
So the same kind of bullshit that we use to try to fill 45 minutes each week.
Exactly. I wish that you guys had been in there. Like one of the guys kept trying to make it fun, but the lady wasn't having it, and some of the other people weren't having it.
Like, what did he do to make it fun? Like, just cracking jokes?
There was one about cheese. There was a cheese-flavored one, and the lady asked, what do you mean that it needs more cheese? And the guy was like, I just need to be able to feel the cheese. And like, that's what one of the people said. And this guy who's trying to have fun started cracking up and then made feel the cheese references in like the next 10 comments that he made.
That guy is basically a 4th member of our podcast.
But the lady, you could tell running it, was not impressed.
How quickly did you want to shout, feel the cheese is Cheddar Cheetah's catchphrase, and then like realize it was the wrong sentence?
It was really it's just, you eat so much of this stuff. I don't know. It was an interesting experience, but Not sure I would love to go back, but I was there for 2 hours and made like $150. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Cool. You're buying the next couple snacks for the podcast.
How do you? So is it? Do you know what brand it is, or is it just in a cup and you don't have any idea who made it? Like, could you go out to the store and buy it again? Because now, if you like,
well, they haven't made it yet, but I also signed this non-disclosure Geiger, so you're not getting information from me.
Novak, I don't want to mess up your honeypot of $50 every 2 months, but just tell me what this is.
Which flavor was the best?
The thing was, all their flavors didn't have flavor to them, so it would say barbecue, and you could barely taste any barbecue on it.
You couldn't feel the barbecue.
I couldn't. That's why this guy wanted to feel the cheese, because the flavors were too weak. But I have done, like I did an alcohol one, and you actually have to have someone drive you there and pick you up, like for their own protection. And I was trying like a apple cider, like a hard cider. And some of the questions they ask you, that you just drink a hard cider, like a few of them, and like how many of these could you see yourself drinking at a picnic? And it's like you click on it, and the choice is like 1 to 8. Like, 8 ciders? Jesus Christ! Like,
this is really just a cover for an intervention. Like you write down 8, and then a bunch of people come in like, "We love you, Nick."
They really are strict. I mean, they actually really say they're strict about no cell phones in here, no anything. But there was one I was in one time where there was a guy next to me who was just incredibly loud and talking to everybody, and he would, I think it was that cider one, he drank it, and he was like, I just remember him yelling, "This one tastes like a dolphin's asshole." And he was so loud and obnoxious and kept saying stuff and cracking up, and I'm like, you could do anything in here. This guy's doing anything he wants to.
I love that.
I can just imagine him like collecting the feedback later. Well, sorry, Larry, this one didn't go over that well. One gentleman said it tasted like quote unquote a dolphin's asshole. Really concerned.
So that was taste testing, and it was clear that I was the pro, though, thanks to this podcast.
Did you use our rating scale when discussing the food?
I did. It's really that's the only comment I ever made. I walked in with the theme, with our intro music as I walked into this taste testing.
Guys, the professional is here to pwn all you noobs. So sit back.
Right. It's kind of like you're going to go play a pickup basketball game, and LeBron James walks in.
Or it's like you're going to go play Call of Duty at the X Games, and fattest neckbeard ever walks in.
the greatest athlete of modern times, a Call of Duty player, comes in.
Or it's like you're going to go play tetherball, and Dr. Payne walks in.
Well, we're going to pwn some snacks here, and we've got 3 to try today. Let's start with this. You think, should we eat the popcorn early or late?
Let's do the popcorn first.
Okay.
The longer we wait, the worse, because it's already expired.
It's just getting... It was fresh when we started this episode. So this is the Pop Gourmet Popcorn. Pop brand, just POP with an exclamation point. And this one is the Cascade Mix, natural white cheddar, and handcrafted caramel popcorn.
So that means there is, looks like from the picture, some cheddar pieces and some popcorn pieces inside the bag.
Cheddar pieces and popcorn pieces.
Yeah, it's cheddar. No, it's cheddar and caramel.
Sorry, I can't talk. Cheddar popcorn and caramel popcorn.
So hunks of cheese with some popcorn in it?
Popcorn with slices of cheese. So what do you guys think generally of a cheese and caramel mix, like what is well known as the Chicago mix?
It
Is that? I've never heard of that before.
You haven't?
Me neither.
Yeah, you can buy bags. It says Chicago mix right on it.
Cheese and caramel are not two things I would normally think would go together.
When you guys buy the big bins of popcorn, the traditional like a third of buttered popcorn, cheese popcorn, and caramel, how do you rank those?
As a kid, I always had way more caramel left over than anything else. I probably ate the butter first and cheese second, but as an adult, it may be more split between that standard and cheddar. Not to say that I don't like caramel, just don't like it as much as those two.
I'd probably put butter 1, caramel 2, cheese 3, but it depends on the cheese. That can vary wildly, the quality of a cheese popcorn.
Yeah, I would say buttered cheese caramel. Caramel's definitely last. It's fine, but I don't like. Again, I'm a savory snack kind of person. So
Case in point on quality varying wildly, this bag of popcorn.
are your guys' buttery or I'm sorry, cheddary parts kind of chewy?
Yeah.
Try the combination because I do think the caramel and cheese corn is a decent combo.
My hunks of cheese are very chewy.
It's not super cheesy, but it's okay.
And now this is not your normal like orange cheddar cheese. This is white cheddar, so it's a little bit of a different taste than regular
Yeah.
cheese corn.
Geiger, why don't you start us off with the pop?
I don't want to, like I said, the cheddar cheese popcorn is chewy, but I think that's our fault for not eating it sooner, not necessarily the snack's fault for not staying past its own expiration date.
Are we sure about that, though?
Well,
I'm not convinced about that because the caramel corn is not chewy.
yeah, but it's because it's cased in like a hard shell of candy.
I mean, this is not way past the expiration date. Like mine expired 4 days ago. That shouldn't be.
Mine says 2013. No, I'll give it. I'm just saying I'm giving it a benefit of the doubt. That's all. So the cheddar, I like the cheddar cheese. It's not too sharp. It's not too like overpowering. And like you said, Chad, sometimes cheese popcorn gets like really super. There's something like overly cheesy about it. That's not the problem here. The caramel's good. I'm not a huge fan of caramel corn, but I agree the combo's fine. I'm torn. It's hard for me. It's good. I would never buy it. Like it's just not something I ever think of as a snack I'd want to eat. I guess I would give it a mild like that. Just kind of like it's definitely something I enjoyed eating. I just probably wouldn't buy it again.
You're Mr. Corn, though.
I am Mr. Everyone knows me as Mr. Corn.
Professor P. Corn.
Yep. Sure am. So for the record, that is, I am Mr. Chip, Mr. P. Corn, and GMAP now. Is that?
You were Mr. something else, too, another time.
I think wasn't it like Mr. Really Good Looking? Was that it?
No, that wasn't it.
Wasn't it Mr. Dolphin's asshole or whatever?
Chad, what do you think?
Okay, so popcorn already has a little bit of an uphill battle with me. I've mentioned before that it annoys me how it can get stuck in my teeth.
Does that have to do with the fact that you just were like a brace's face of all times when you were growing up?
No, I liked popcorn a lot when I was a kid. It's like this is a recent last 5 to 10 years where I just sort of decided that like I'm kind of over popcorn. And it's just empty calories that I'm just not really feeling it too much anymore. So popcorn has to be really good to to get me excited.
And this is not?
Yeah, this is not. The cheese tastes like a dolphin's asshole, I think. I don't think it's good at all. Whether the chewiness is intentional or not, it's bad.
I doubt it's intentional. I don't think they made it on purpose that way.
Yeah, the caramel is okay. That's sort of the only redeeming part. But if you look in the bag, it's 75% cheese and only 25% caramel or something like that. So, yeah, I'm going to settle on dislike that. This is not good.
All right. I like cheese and caramel mix, and I actually think this cheese is a little better than some cheese popcorn. I'm with Geiger in that the white cheddar is a little, I don't know, not less overpowering, but just a little milder, and I kind of like that. And the ratio you mentioned, the 75% ratio, is, I think, what you should have for this mix. So I do like it. Probably I'd be with Geiger. It's a mild like that, but I am going to give it a second like that. So 2 likes and a dislike to start us off with the popcorn.
And real quickly, beyond those 2 ratings, what's the rest of the rating scale, Novak?
Oh.
How many episodes in and we still can't remember to do the fucking rating scale?
This is why we only have 12 listeners.
I think a good ratio is 75% forget, 25% remember. So we have we could have gone higher than the like that. We could have gone to a love that. It's a love that, like that, indifferent to that, dislike that, and then a hate that. So it's a 5-point scale.
I mean, the redeeming quality, like you said, is the same 12 people listen every week, so we don't have to worry too much about alienating new fans.
Next, we're going to try the Nestle Chunky bar. And I've never had a Chunky. Have you guys had one?
Yes.
I've never had it, and I had never seen it on the store or seen it on the shelves. And then I saw this one. I picked it up because I was kind of curious. It's milk chocolate with peanuts and raisins, and I like both peanuts and raisins, but I don't think I've had a chocolate bar with raisins in it before. So
I've definitely had it when I was a kid. I actually thought they didn't make them anymore because I never saw them. I used to have them occasionally when I was a kid, and then I never saw them again. So I almost wondered if this was, I suppose I could have looked it up, but if this was like re-released or something, or maybe I just...
Or it's possible that they are from when you were a kid because I got them at Big Lots.
What do you guys think of like just a standard chocolate covered raisins with sweetness to them?
I'm not a big raisin guy. Raisins are fine. I don't really like the whole chocolate and fruit thing. To me is okay. I'm just kind of meh.
I'm a huge raisin guy. I love raisins. I have them almost every day. Chocolate covered raisins are okay. I don't kind of go out of my way for chocolate covered raisins. I think the only time I would really ever eat them is if like I'm at the movies and I'm going into that like big bulk candy bin, then maybe I might pick out like a couple chocolate covered raisins.
That would be the only raisin you would choose them.
Oh God, you're so fired.
I was
You're welcome.
doing the research on these snacks, and the advertising for Chunky Bar came up. And here's what it says about the advertising on Wikipedia. An early 1970s TV commercial for Chunky showed a young boy watching TV with his father. The boy amused viewers by claiming that Chunky was thicker-er. So that was their original slogan.
Can't imagine why that didn't take off. It's also just kind of a weird name for any sort of thing you eat. It's just a giant black letter that says Chunky.
This is what this bar is going to make you.
Right.
And then Thicker was also then, I think, the title of a Kanye West song.
That girl was thickerer.
The bar is very thickerer if you open it. It's like
a very thickerer.
It's a tall thing divided into 4 squares that are all very thickerer.
So do you like Thicker, or they had 2 other slogans. The other slogans were Chunky, what a chunko chocolate. And then finally, open wide for Chunky.
Yeah, that sounds creepy. That sounds like a circus clown or something.
Open wide for Chunky.
Here comes Chunky, open wide. They were really scraping the bottom of the barrel in the old marketing department.
Yeah.
Open wide for Chunky is also a Kanye West song.
I very much wish it was.
So it's basically a rectangle divided into 4 blocks.
I really don't know what to think about this.
Are there any raisins in yours? This one, oh, there it is.
It's like 1 per square, kind of.
Yeah. There's a lot of peanut, like a lot more peanuts than I was expecting. They're like big pieces, almost like halves of peanuts.
Yeah. Many more peanuts than raisins.
Is that good or bad for you, Geiger?
I mean, like I said, I'm not a giant raisin guy, so.
You're Mr. Raisin.
I really wish there was some corn in here.
All right. Well, Chad, it's unfortunate you said this is going to be tough because you're leading us off.
I don't know. Something about this mix just didn't come out right. Like, these are all things that I ostensibly like. Peanuts and chocolate is a great combination. Raisins and chocolate, not bad. Peanuts and raisins, pretty good if you're eating like a trail mix. There's something here where it's just, you kind of bite into it, you get like a weird hard consistency if you bite into a peanut, but then also it's soft consistency if you happen to bite into a raisin. The chocolate itself is not great. This is like subpar, like well below like a Hershey bar level quality of chocolate. I'm pretty disappointed in this thing. I don't know why. It should work and it just doesn't. So I'm going to go dislike that.
All right. Here's what it is for me. If this thing was all chocolate and nuts, I'd like it. I like raisins. I'll eat raisins by the box, but they are ruining this bar for me. For me, they do not belong in a candy bar. And I've never had it, but I've discovered that that belief is true. I did not enjoy it. I got about halfway through and then did not want to eat any more of it. So I'm going to double up Chad's dislike dat. Geiger, is there an unwelcome visitor knocking?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I ate the whole thing, but...
I mean, that is the sign that you dislike something, is when you eat the whole thing.
Yeah, I really had to make sure. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Like I said, chocolate and raisins to me is like a meh kind of thing. I would even say the peanuts weren't all that great. They were just there.
They were not very good peanuts either, yeah.
They were texture. There wasn't any like salt to them. There wasn't any like contrasting flavor. It was just a filler in the chocolate. And Chad's right, that chocolate wasn't that great. So Something about it just felt, it was even just looked weird. It was all clumpy and I don't know. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
It was far too thicker.
Far too thicker. I did not want to open up my mouth for Chunky anymore. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. I ate the whole thing. So I fully opened my mouth wide for Chunky. But I will knock knock. It's an unwelcome visitor that we're going to have to shoo out of our house. I give that a dislike that.
Chunky the Clown would be a good unwelcome visitor.
That'd just be a fat clown.
Coming over to play Call of Duty.
Neckbeard the clown shows up.
Neckbeard. It's really become a thing on this podcast is neckbeard.
The three of us jocks just pushing those neckbeards around.
So you guys both say the chocolate's not good quality, but theoretically, I don't know anything about the candy production industry. So isn't it probably the same chocolate being used on that they use in, say, a Crunch Bar?
No way. I doubt it. It does not taste as good. I mean, maybe. And maybe it's just gone through the decay of sitting in a Big Lots for a long time, but it does not. The chocolate doesn't taste good. I would be surprised if it was like the exact same chocolate that Nestle uses for some of their other stuff.
Tell me about I don't think it maybe once been in a Big Lots in my life, but you regularly tear down Big Lots. What is it that you have against Big Lots?
Oh, well, we go there all the time because there's a Big Lots right like 3 doors down from like our favorite sushi place. Well, and it's the thing with Big Lots is it's stuff that is about to expire. And so the food is all super cheap there because it's going to expire in like 2 weeks.
That's how they advertise. Big Lots, we've got stuff that's expired.
Let's be clear. You go to Big Lots, buy stuff on the verge of expiration, sit on it for 3 weeks, and then mail it to us, which we then sit on for 3 more weeks before we even get it into a podcast.
Yep, that's how I roll.
They have more than just... I thought I remembered that they had a Big Lots kind of close to where I grew up, and I thought it wasn't just food, though. You can get like notebooks and shit like that.
Sure, yeah, they have lots of other stuff there that's all super cheap and low quality. Like really low quality lawn furniture.
And notebooks, don't forget.
Yeah, notebooks. They have notebooks. They have copies of The Notebook on DVD.
All right. Could I get a copy of Call of Duty?
Yeah, they probably have like old PS2 games there or something.
Do they have any razors to shave your neck with?
Yeah, I can get it as like a basement dwelling nerd. You can get everything you need: food that's about to expire, razors to shave your neck, and Call of Duty.
Expired Code Red.
All right, so we've got You Drank Dat, and Chad, you take us through the ratings and what we're drinking.
You mentioned it a lot in the intro. We're going to try out this Bai. We've got the blueberry flavor here. Actually, more specifically, Brasilia Blueberry. So maybe that means blueberries from Brazil? I don't know. Anyways, I don't know much about this except that they advertise it as like very low calorie. So I guess this is basically just like fruit infused water, like probably kind of similar to Hint water. So yeah, we're going to have a Bai based rating system here. So our you mentioned that this is partially owned by Justin Timberlake, which makes our top rating fairly obvious, which is Bye, bye, bye. That's our top rating. Bye, bye, bye. But in a good way, like you're buying it, like stocks. I don't know. Whatever. I wanted to play the song. Stop judging.
We paid for the rights to that, right?
As in, we bought the rights to that song.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Where do you guys come down on NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys?
I regularly confuse them. That's where I come down. I couldn't tell you who sang which song.
I don't, because my sisters, both of whom listen to this podcast, were insane fans of both, and so I heard all the music constantly. So I'm well aware of the differences. I don't have a favorite. They both.
Yeah, I also heard them a lot in college. For some reason, my sophomore year roommate liked to watch Total Request Live every day, and that was his routine, was just come back from class, put on Total Request Live. And that was back when both NSYNC and Backstreet Boys were really big, so we heard them every single day. I would say NSYNC may be slightly better, but Backstreet Boys have a new song out now, which NSYNC, they would probably never get back together.
I will say Justin Timberlake himself is very talented. I don't mind him.
Talented?
I saw Lance Bass in Las Vegas one time at the Palms Hotel. That's the end of that story. All right, so
What was he performing, or he just saw?
no,
him
he
there?
was walking through the casino. And, and like I walked
Oh.
right past him, and I'm like, "Hey, that's Lance Bass." And I think it was about the time that he was trying to pay the Russians to launch him up into space on a rocket.
Mhm.
He just was walking past, or was he like on the ground looking under machines for tokens or something?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the scale. So our middle rating, if it's a 3-point scale, I should have said. So top rating, bye. Middle rating, bye curious. And then our bottom rating, bye Felicia. So there you go. Those are our 3 ratings.
Perfect.
All right. I'm a bit anxious. I've been curious what this is like. Oh, it says shake well, so
The side of the bottle is kind of funny. It says juicy flavor that tastes like a rainforest just kissed you on the lips. And then it goes through a bunch of stuff about how exotic and romantic the juice is, and it ends with, it's like if your crush showed up in a teeny bathing suit and took you on a picnic in the antioxidant rainforest. Pretty juicy stuff. So they're basically thinking that this drink is going to make you all horny? Is that what they're trying to say?
Is this thing going to get me laid?
Yeah. We should give this to some neckbeards.
drink it all.
All right, that's the other rule. We have to finish the bottle in one gulp.
I can taste the antioxidants, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's no oxidants.
Yeah, the cancer is leaving my body. Wait, what's an antioxidant? I don't know.
Let's see, what is the actual... It says good source of vitamin C at one point, and then you look up and it's got 10% vitamin C.
At one point, it stated
That's actually not really a good source.
there is 13.5 milligrams of vitamin C, 100 milligrams of... They're telling you how many antioxidants are in there per bottle. It doesn't sound like a ton.
Like if you compare this to one of those like boosted naked juices or something that have 200% of your vitamin C. I mean, I guess those are way more calories, but if you're really going for vitamin C, I wouldn't go for this.
It only has 5 calories.
5 calories the entire bottle, so it's not
Yeah.
all that different than drinking water.
1 net carb per serving, and it's 3% juice. And this is also 2 servings, this bottle.
Yeah, so it's actually 10 calories per bottle and 20% vitamin C.
All right.
It has a stronger blueberry flavor than I expected. Like, I don't know if you guys have had hint water, which I thought this was going to be similar to, but that you can sort of barely taste the fruit flavor that is mixed in with it. This is a lot stronger than that.
Geiger, I'm going to have you start.
All right. Well,
Should I get Justin Timberlake ready?
yeah, I was going to say the good news is we don't have to waste money on any more rights fees for that music, because we will not need that. It's fine. It's just water with a vague, I'm saying that wrong, but vague. I always say those kind of
No,
words
you
wrong.
said it right that
Oh,
time.
vague. I did it really vague.
You actually said it right for the first time in podcast history.
Man, I'm so proud of myself. This is vaguely a juice that has the flavor's okay. But it has that weird, I don't know. Sometimes when you drink flavored waters or waters or juices that are trying to be healthy, and they don't want to put sugar in there, but they're trying to come up with some other way to flavor it. The flavor has a weird aftertaste. I don't know how to say it. It's like almost like a diet soda-y type of aftertaste, and that's kind of what I'm picking up here. It's just not that good. It's okay. It's healthy, obviously. I mean, if you're looking for something that's not water to drink and it's healthy, like has some flavor, this is fine. I do agree with Chad. It does taste more like blueberries than I thought it would. I guess I'm just...
Say it.
What is the middle rate? Oh, I'm bi-curious. I am bi-curious. I could give or take this drink. Also, I'm actually bi-curious. No, okay, no. This is not where I'm coming out. No, this is... it's fine. Now watch. This would be the one clip of this entire podcast my dad ever listens to. He just cuts right to his son saying, I'm bi-curious.
That is definitely the audio clip that I'm going to extract out and put on Instagram.
That's the first thing. I knew I shouldn't have got a smartphone. Smashes it.
He smashed it on the ground. I was gonna get a regular phone, and they sold me on this froofy shit.
I think some of what you say is accurate. I think there's a slight medicine-y aftertaste to it, but I think it's a bit more. I could see if I ran or had worked out or something, this being kind of refreshing, and I could probably put it back, put the whole thing back pretty easily. But I wouldn't seek it out. It's just a flavored water. I mean, there's not much to it. I'm gonna Geiger, I'm also bi-curious.
Yeah. What you doing later, buddy?
My dad also is smashing his smartphone.
Our dads are just hulking rage monsters. I hate technology and
Two, right, just homophobic oldest men that we know. Chad, what do you think?
I think Novak nailed it when he said it has that medicine-y aftertaste. I was thinking that this tastes like a combination of bad Kool-Aid and NyQuil.
watered down Kool-Aid is a really good way to describe it. It's like that artificial sweetener type flavor. Yeah.
I don't think this is good at all. Like, if I want a low-calorie drink with like that has a little bit of flavor or something, I'll take, one of those green teas in a bottle or something. This is bad. The aftertaste is bad. I don't really see the point to this. There's not even a lot of vitamins in it, so I'm not even really getting a lot of health benefits from it. I'd rather drink water over it if I just had a workout. This thing's so pointless to me. Bye, Felicia.
All right, so we cannot recommend Bai to you, but a couple of us thought it was all right, and that does it for the You Drank Dat today. And we've got a final snack who's got something to say in this competition. Right now, the popcorn is in the lead with 2 likes and a dislike, so not an unbeatable score. And next up, we have what I think is going to be a pretty strong contender in the Take 5 snack mix. Now, before we get started, in doing a little research, I found out that Take 5 was the name of a boy band sort of around the 98, 99 time. And I looked up their music, one video they had, and you need to find it. It's called, I think, I Give or something like that. And it is hilarious. There's the kids in there. A couple of them look like they're about 14. And there's some scene in the video where he's like putting poker chips like onto a in a casino somewhere. And he's like surrounded by these clearly older women. Like, there's no way this kid's old enough to be betting in a casino. Like, it's really kind of goofy. Chad, you found it?
Yeah, these kids do look really young. It's introduced all their names at the beginning. I've never heard this song before. I guess it was never on Total Request Live.
I'm starting to understand why.
Well, while Chad was watching Total Request Live, I was coming home from class every day watching The Fifth Wheel.
The Fifth Wheel. I mean, you know what? I had remembered the other day that I completely forgot. Remember Blind Date?
Yeah.
I would watch. I was on all the time, and it was like that corny ass host that would be like, "I don't think Jessica's gonna want to go out again," and look at the camera, and they had those like weird captions pop up during the thing.
Fifth Wheel was sort of along the same vein of crappy dating show. What was the one with the bus where they Next. Remember that show, Next?
Next was the best.
The person would just get off the bus, and the kid go, next.
Yeah, so the premise was one person was like the picker, and then there's a bus full of the opposite sex or the same sex, I guess, whatever. And they would all come out, and like the first one would come out, and they could have the choice of to hang out with them some more or say next. And so the guy episodes definitely, when there was a guy picking, it would just be like, ugly trick gets off the bus, next, and she starts crying.
Yeah, because they could say it at any time, so they'd like ask them some question, they didn't like their answer, and they'd just be like, next.
Right. Like, oh yeah, do you like the Backstreet Boys? Oh yeah, I love them. Next.
Oh, do you like the candy Chunky? Oh yeah, I do. Next.
So the Take 5 snack mix, we're not going to say next to. We're going to spend some time with it.
Next. Just give me the next snack from next episode.
We're going to open wide for Chunky and try the Take 5 snack mix. It's got, on the front, lists sweet and salty mix with milk chocolate, pretzels, peanut butter candy, chocolate-covered caramels, and peanuts. And all those sound great.
All great things, yeah. Now, there was a Take 5 bar, right?
There was?
Yes, there is a Take 5 bar, and it has pretzels in it.
Oh, yeah. Those are really good.
I don't love the Take 5.
I think it's the same kinds of things. It's not necessarily great as a bar, but it seems like as a snack mix, it could be a winner.
Is that tied to this? Does that have a relationship to this?
Probably. It's probably, the Take 5 snack. It's all the components of the bar Because I think, yeah, it's pretzels and peanut butter and stuff. I like those Take Fives.
For sure, it's the same thing because I just Googled it and the logo is identical.
Okay.
So this has milk chocolate pieces, pretzels, peanut butter candy, which I think is what I just put in my mouth. So it's like a round, soft circle of peanut butter, a chocolate covered caramels, and peanuts.
So there's a lot of pieces actually to discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pretzels are hard as hell.
Yeah, they're super crunchy. I got to try to get one of each at the same time. See that now, okay, this has little chocolate squares in it. So this is Hershey's Corporation. The other one was Nestle, but this chocolate is significantly better chocolate than what was in the thicker bar, whatever it
Have
was
you
called.
found the caramel? Chocolate covered caramel?
I just got to one. It's a ball. It's the.
It looks like an M&M without the shell, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a little piece of everything.
I bit into one of the chocolate balls with the caramel inside to get like a cross section, and the caramel is like it looks like this weird, like pasty white, almost powdery kind of thing. It doesn't really taste like caramel that much.
The combination of all five, if you can find it, is pretty good.
Yeah, those pretzels are almost like they're like crackers almost. They're like really brittle.
All right. This is hard. I know, maybe not for you guys. Here's the thing. All these pieces are okay. Actually, I don't like the pretzel. I think the pretzel is a poor choice for the pretzel for this. It's too
Why? Because it's too hard?
too hard. I don't like the caramel piece that much either. I don't think it tastes all that great. The other one, a peanut butter cup, a big piece of chocolate, and what's the other one?
Peanuts.
Peanuts are all fine, but it's still a tough rate. I'm really torn between an indifferent and a like. I don't think I would ever get this. This is not good for you. You know, like it's not that different than eating a candy bar.
Right.
So, but you kind of feel like
Are they claiming it's good for
no, but sometimes I feel like when you buy something like a trail mix, you feel like it's going to be a little bit healthier than just eating a Snickers candy bar.
Right. It's something like you imagine yourself out on a hike through the wilderness, climbing a mountain. You bust out the trail mix for a little nourishment, but you would never bust out like a candy bar.
This is 290 calories for the whole thing. So yeah, it's not
Right.
healthy.
So, you know what? it's just not, it's good. It's fine. I just would never, ever get this. I don't think any of the individual pieces are better than if I feel like I could make this better on my own. You know, I could find a better peanut butter cup. I could find a better pretzel. I could find a better piece of chocolate. So to me, I'll probably be alone on this, but I'm going to give it an indifferent to Dat because it is tasty, but it's just underperforming in my opinion. Geiger, what do you think?
I see where you're coming from. I like the chocolate pieces. I think they're like Chad said, they're better than the chocolate bar we ate, and they're kind of soft. I guess I was expecting more. As I eat big handfuls, I was expecting like
Big handful.
as I shovel it in my mouth, I can't really taste anything. No, what I meant was as I eat like the components together is what I should have said. I was expecting more of a differentiation of taste, and it just kind of overall.
That makes you sound less fat.
Yeah. As I combined the components of this sweet treat, it just was kind of like it's blandly sweet. Like I was expecting more like differentiation between the pieces, and it just kind of tastes like chocolate with peanuts. The pretzels are there, and I like that caramel thing. I don't understand how that's even caramel. It tastes nothing like caramel to me. Having said that, gun to my head, I'd probably eat this sooner than I would the popcorn. Like I would sooner reach for this than the popcorn. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great. Again, a mild like that. It was fine. I think it's fine. It's a like that. It's kind of a begrudging like that.
Okay, so all the Take 5 snack mix needs for the win is a like that from Chad. So, Chad, are you going to carry it across the finish line?
I ate almost this entire bag.
Ooh.
So I agree that not all the individual components are perfect. There's sort of not enough peanuts, actually. The pretzels are too hard. I didn't mind the caramel thing. I mean, I agree it doesn't really taste like caramel. It's just kind of like a generically sweet thing. The peanut butter candy I thought was great. The chocolate I thought was great. So overall, I agree this can be improved, but I think it's tasty. I'm going to open wide and let Chunky in. I'm going to feel that cheese. This is a like that.
Do you feel like which of these pieces would you like to be thicker of the 5?
My favorite one was the peanut butter candies.
Yeah, rate these 5 pieces of your preference.
Sure. Okay. From starting at the top, peanut butter candy, then milk chocolate, then peanuts, then the pretzels, then the chocolate-covered caramels, I think in that order.
I think I would do that almost identical to that.
I would also do that.
Boom!
Group think.
I'm brilliant.
Yep.
This would be better if you took out everything but the peanut butter and chocolate, molded them into
Into cup form.
into a disc. Wrap that
Crinkled
disc
the sides.
in brown paper.
So, Geiger, if you had to have a slogan, you're right now needing to make up a slogan for the Take 5 commercial.
Oh, I am. Oh, this was unscripted, my friend. All right, a slogan for Take 5. How much time's left in the podcast?
It could just be some play on one of the other slogans.
Okay. It's thinner than the candy bar version. I don't know. How about you, Novak? Since you put me on the fucking spot.
Well, we did stay away from all the Bai references.
Yeah.
After we decided to get the Bai juice, there was about 2 hours of texting with the word Bai put into different phrases.
Like Nick Biger.
I am Nick Biger, the chip man.
All right. Well, the winner this week is the Take 5 snack mix. So, not really a surprise. Probably something we could have predicted coming in. And that does get a recommendation. Nothing out of this world, but that does get the recommendation for this week. Chad, why don't you clue everybody into what we have coming up on our special episode next time?
Yes. And we're going to taste 3 brand new Snickers flavors that have come out. So I think we're all big fans of Snickers. We've gone over that in the past. And we noticed they have 3 new flavors out. There's the Fiery, which I think is supposed to be spicy, the Espresso, and the Sweet and Salty. And I'm not entirely sure what the Sweet and Salty is supposed to be, because Snickers is already kind of sweet and kind of salty, but we'll see. So yeah, coming up, it's going to be an all Snickers episode.
If you want to reach out to us to give us your feedback on the show, ask us about eating different Snickers. If you think any of these foods taste like a dolphin's asshole, I cannot stop saying that. It's hilarious. You can reach out. I'm single-handedly burying that joke just by myself.
You can find us on dolphinsasshole.com/dolphinsasshole.
Yeah, no, you can visit us at You Tried Dat on Facebook, hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter, You Tried Dat on YouTube, You Tried Dat on Instagram. I remembered this week, Chad. There you go.
Yay!
Email us at youtrydat@gmail.com. You can also illegally download these episodes off Napster, I'm pretty sure. I think that's still happening. We're not going to get any of the revenue that we normally get when you download these.
That's a topical reference. Justin Timberlake is the Napster guy.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
From that Facebook movie.
What?
Oh, right. I'm like, no, he's not. I thought you meant like he was a guy that took them on, but that was Lars Ulrich of Metallica. Anyway, all right, I got you now.
Same thing. We'll be back next time for our all Snickers episode. See you then.
Deuces.
Dad, I'm not bi-curious.